Welcome, online students taking Theater 165, Dramatic Heritage, Study and Analysis of Plays. I think you're going to be in for a great semester. What I'm doing here is making this online video about the library research tools available to you. Normally with Theater 165, I would do this face to face, but you're online, so you get this video instead. I am the only Tammy Ivins. I'm one of the reference librarians here at Randall Library at UNC Wilmington. I am the designated librarian for the theater department. My background is in theater. My undergraduate degree was theater, so I'm delighted to be here today working with you and hopefully applying some of my knowledge of theater with my degree in library science and research to help you find what you need. What you're looking at right here is this guide I've put together for you because we have so much content on the library webpage. Literally, we spend millions of dollars a year on print and electronic resources for you. There's so much. So I've tried to collect some of the best resources for you in this class. How you can get to this page, I will have a link in the About section of this YouTube video. Your instructor will also have a link, but you can go anytime from the Randall Library homepage to Get Help, Subject and Course Guides, or Find and Research, Subject and Course Guides. But go to Subject and Course Guides and scroll down to Theater. And there we are, Dramatic Heritage, Study and Analysis of Plays for Theater 165. Perhaps the most important part of this page before we go any further is on the right-hand column under Get Help. You see contact information, and there I am. What a handsome devil I am. But you have my email address, my phone number. You can also click on my website, and when I'm available, I have a live chat there. You can also see my schedule there if you'd like to set up either a face-to-face appointment, or I can do appointments over webcam like this using Skype, Google Hangouts, whatever works best for you. I am here to help. Please, as I mentioned, I'm the designated theater librarian. This is literally my job to help you. So if you have any questions, if you're not finding what you're looking for, or even if you're not finding what you're looking for quickly enough, efficiently enough, if you feel like you're spinning your wheels in the mud a little bit, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. You can also chat live with one of our librarians. This is get exactly the same service as if you walked up to the reference desk here in the library. We've also have some links here about writing help and services available to you. But let me go through the rest of this guide as well. That's the right-hand column, Get Help. Starting in the left-hand column, Find Books. Use the resources and tips in this column to find books. The first box is finding a script. Obviously, this is going to involve script analysis, so you're going to need to look at a script. If you can click on this link, I have a totally separate guide put together just about how to find a script. First, I actually say use these books, databases, and websites to pick a script, and I have several resources listed here that you can use to pick a script if you don't already have one. These resources will let you browse a list of books of plays we have. You can also use some of these electronic tools to search. Say if you know you want one from a particular period with 3 actors, you know you want 3 minorities, and 1 scene, you can actually search for exactly the type of play that you want, which is fantastic. Then the next step is going to be to search the library catalog to see if we have it. And there's a link right there to search. And then I say if we don't have the script, use interlibrary loan to request a copy. Now, interlibrary loan is a wonderful thing. I'm going to go and click on this link right here. You can get to it from that page, or at any time along top of the library, you can go to Use the Library, Interlibrary Loan. Use the library, interlibrary loan. If there's any articles or books you want that we do not have here in the library, request it through interlibrary loan. We'll get them from another library at no cost to you whatsoever. We'll cover any associated cost, which is fantastic. The one thing with this, because it does physically involve mailing books, don't wait to the last minute to work on an assignment. Because if you need to get a script from another library, we need time for it to be here. Now, some of you taking this online class will be located right here on campus. Hey, I took online classes as a student. Means you get to sleep in a little bit. So in which case, you can come and get books in the library or have the interlibrary loan books delivered here. For those of you, however, watching this video who are actually distance education students who are located off from campus, please know that interlibrary loan will actually mail you books from this library. So if there's a script that you want that we don't have here, or that we do have here, we'll mail it to you. If there's a script we don't have here, we'll get it from another library and mail it to you. That's if you're a distance education student. Please let me know if you have any questions about how that works, and I'll answer as best I can. If I need to, I will direct you to our distance education librarian. But just know, as a distance education student, you'll be able to get everything you need. So that's the first option, finding a script, and that's going to take you step by step through resources for picking out a script, seeing if we have it in the library, and requesting it if we don't. Next, search the library catalog. You can search the library catalog to find books about your play. There's a widget right here where you can just type your search directly in. But before you do, take a moment and read these tips that I suggest here. First of all, I recommend that when you're searching for books about the birthday party by Pinter, first of all, spell it correctly. Second of all, when you're looking for it, can you think of anything that might be wrong with this search? How it might confuse the computer? What it's doing that's going to be confusing for the computer is the computer is going to look at each of these words individually. The birthday party Pinter. It's not going to look at them together. So if there was a book about how the Republican Party celebrated the birthday of America thanks to Senator Pinter, it's going to show up in your results, even though it has nothing to do with the play The Birthday Party by Pinter. So whenever you have a multi-word phrase like a play title, put quotation marks around that multi-word phrase. That tells the computer, I want to find a book with this exact phrase, The Birthday Party, and then the other word, Pinter, but it tells the computer what it's looking for. And here we find 5 results. In the catalog, you can click on these titles to get more information. Sometimes you'll see like this. It's an ebook that you can click and use on your computer. Sometimes it'll be a book like this that you'll be able to get from the library. Again, if you're a distance education student, you can have that mailed to you. One challenge is looking through our books and seeing some of them are going to be actual copies of the script, such as this, The Birthday Party by Harold Pinter. This appears to be a collection of books, of scripts. But then if you look sometimes in the catalog, they'll give a little bit more detail about what's in the book. So you can see this one has some introductory material that may prove useful. For example, Harold Pinter's Politics of Silence Beyond Echo. This appears to be a book about Harold Pinter in general, and specifically about the birthday party. Now, if you only found 5 books here, another tip I suggest is that if you are not finding enough books when you specifically search for the title of your play and the author, try just looking for books about the author, because for the most part, you're probably going to be looking at these authors' most famous works, or some of their most famous works, and any book about Harold Pinter on a whole is going to mention the birthday party. So that's another one technique you can do if you don't find what you're looking for. And by the way, I keep saying books, but you notice when we do our search, we also come up with some documentaries as well. So this book, Understanding Harold Pinter, even though it did not come up when we searched for the birthday party, because the phrase the birthday party is nowhere in this description of the book, it's about criticism and interpretation of Harold Pinter. I would be greatly surprised if it did not contain at least a little bit about the birthday party. Another tip for when you are not finding enough books, look at the bibliography. All you really have to do is find 1 or 2 good sources and then look at the bibliography, the works cited at the end of that book. Or as you're reading, note if they mention any particularly good sources. Oh, anybody researching Harold Pinter must read blah blah blah's book on blah 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 blah. Boom, write that down, look and see if we have that book. If we don't have it, request it through interlibrary loan. So that's the first two things in this column right away. Searching for the script that you want to analyze and searching the library catalog for books about your script, about your play. And note these tips here underneath the search library catalog. Underneath that, I have some helpful resources for finding the books on the shelf, some description of how Library of Congress classification works, and actually a little game if you want to practice your Library of Congress call numbers. That's how we have our books arranged on the shelf. We don't have them on the shelf by author, I should say, or in alphabetical order. We have them arranged by subject. So when you find a book that you want, and if you've never searched for books by call number before, feel free to ask at the library when you get here, or let me know ahead of time, and we can set up an appointment for me to help you find the books. The last thing in this column is some research basics, encyclopedias, and more, including some print books and some electronic databases. This is one book, Broadway, an encyclopedia of theater, but Credo Reference, the performing arts section, has many reference books, encyclopedias in it. They've just been digitized. These sorts of sources are at the bottom because, as encyclopedias and handbooks, they're basic information. You wouldn't say because it's just simple facts, this, but they're really useful if you're going to be researching a script you know nothing about. Because as you saw when we were searching up here, you at the very least need to know who wrote the darn thing, what the name of it is, and maybe possibly even something about the play, about what time period it was set in, when it was written, so when you're looking at books, you can tell whether or not the book's going to be useful. Heck, you'll need some kind of idea of what the play's about, so you can start having some thoughts about analysis. So if you know nothing about the play, go down to the bottom of this column and start your research of an encyclopedia. Again, you won't want to use it as a cited source in your paper, but it's a great place to get started. So that's it for finding books. The middle section is arguably one of the most important, finding articles. You will have to use peer-reviewed articles in your paper in your annotated bibliography, and I start this column right off with a 3-minute video about what is peer review. So I'm not going to explain that to you right now, just know that some articles are peer reviewed and some aren't, and your homework following up after watching this video is coming here and watching the peer review in 3 minutes video. And then I have a list of databases here for finding peer-reviewed articles. Now just know, I'm going to quickly open up here the library homepage. A lot of you may be familiar. We have a quick search here, including if you search for the birthday party and Pinter, you're going to find books as we talked about before, and also some scholarly articles right here on the left that you can search for, and you can click to see more. This is a great tool, this quick search in the library homepage, a fantastic place to get started. But going back here to the guide, it's not the only place. That is only one article database that it's searching out of hundreds of databases. So by all means start there of an initial search, but if you don't find the articles you're looking for, then it's time to look in some of the other databases the library subscribes to. Never just look in one place. If you don't find what you're looking for, try something different. Try looking in a different place. Just like with the books, I have some tips here about how to search, including, again, notice search multi-word phrases in quotation marks. We used that when we're searching for books. You're going to use that again when searching for articles. Quotation marks around multi-word phrases. I also have a note here to be wary of automatic citations created by databases. The reason why is because sometimes there are mistakes. When you look at a database, it'll say, boom, click here to get the citation, and you copy and paste and you put in your paper. Sometimes the computer makes a mistake. They put a period in the wrong spot. A lot of times they'll mess up the capitalization, and that's a stupid way to lose points in your paper. So by all means use those, but double check them. In particular, those of you taking this class in 2016, there is a new version of MLA. Most of our databases do not have the new version of MLA installed. So when you click on that citation generator inside the database, it will give you the wrong one. Even those that say they have MLA 8, we've noticed a lot of mistakes. So please be careful about that. I don't want you to lose points stupidly. I also note to use the PDF version whenever it's available. We may see that in just a minute when I open some of these up. You always want to use the PDF version of an article. That way there are page numbers. It makes it much easier to cite. Otherwise, you're going to have to count paragraphs. Nobody has time for that. That's a waste of your time. And I'm going to point out when we go into these databases in just a moment, there is going to be an option built into the databases where if it does not have the full text available, you can click and get it through interlibrary loan, which we already talked about with books. Only with articles for interlibrary loan, you will get a PDF that's a scanned PDF that you can download, save on your computer, print, or whatever you need. It's pretty nice. So we've got a list of just a few databases here. Again, these are great options if you're not finding what you're looking for using that quick search on the library homepage. Underneath each individual database, I have a couple of little tips written here. For example, for the Literature Resource Center, I note that you can limit your results to peer-reviewed only, which remember you're going to need for these assignments. And then I also note that use name of work to search for your play. Let's take a look at that. This database has a feature that none of our others do, which is that when you're searching, there's going to be an option for you to type the name of the work. So I'm not going to actually have to use quotation marks here because, I started typing in, it says birthday party play. Why, yes. So that makes it really easy. Instead of just searching for any article that mentions the birthday party and Pinter, and for all you know, they might be talking about Pinter's actual birthday party. That's being a little bit silly, but this is going to be a great database because it's a really refined search. So we're looking for things indexed under name of work, and we're going to limit to peer-reviewed publications. And it didn't find anything. Womp, womp, womp. So that's fine. What did I mention? If you don't find what you're looking for, try someplace else. So we're going to go back. So that was Literature Resource Center. I'm going to try MLA International Bibliography. My only note here is I see that I can limit to peer-reviewed. So I'm going to, there it is, down here at the bottom, peer-reviewed. Each of our databases looks totally different. This one looks totally different, but again, I see these search boxes. Now there is no option in this database to search by play title, so I am going to do like I did in the catalog when searching for books and type in the birthday party in quotation marks and then Pinter. And we're going to search for any peer-reviewed articles that mention those words. And we found 21. Your job now is to start looking through these results. Not all of these are necessarily going to be useful to you. Sometimes you can kind of tell just from the title. Other times you may have to click on it. And this does not have a terrible lot of information here, but sometimes there'll be more. Let's see if there's another one. How about this one? This one doesn't have a terrible lot of information either. Usually oftentimes there's a little summary of the article here. But in this case, we're going to actually have to see the article, decide if we like it. But I don't see a full text link anywhere on this page. I don't see PDF or download HTML. I don't see the article itself. What you're going to want to use is Get It from UNC-W. In this database, it's over here on the left. Sometimes it's somewhere else on the page. But look for Get It from UNC-W. When you click on that, it's going to automatically search all of our other databases. I mentioned that we have hundreds of databases. Boom, it just searched all of those hundreds of article databases and found the full text. Now you notice the full text is available right here. You're going to want to download it as a PDF. That way you have the page numbers. And there you go. If, for example, you clicked Get It from UNC-W and it didn't find it, you would be given an option to get this through interlibrary loan. Let me try another one to see if we can get that. Okay, so this other article, I clicked Get It from UNC-W. We do not have access. So, request through interlibrary loan. You can just click that and you'll be prompted to log in, fill out a short form, and we'll get the article for you. ProQuest Central is another database where we can limit to peer-reviewed. Now, Project Muse is a little different. This database also includes books and pamphlets, so when you search, we want to limit to articles. We also find that there is no way in this database to limit to only peer-reviewed, which is a requirement. However, almost everything in this database is scholarly, so you're going to have to use your best judgment looking at these articles to determine whether or not they are peer-reviewed. And if you have any questions about whether or not an article is, email me. Say, Tammy, I'm not sure if this is a peer-reviewed article. Can you help me check that? And I will. Now also, this database is going to search the full text. These other databases we've seen previously are only searching the basic information about the article, the title, the description, to see if it says Pinter, the birthday party. This database is going to search the entire full text of the article. What does that mean? That means it might find articles that the other databases miss because the words the birthday party and Pinter is not in the article's title or description. But it's going to include some superfluous, unnecessary, useless results because that means anytime they mention the words Pinter and the birthday party, it's going to show up in the results. Even if that article says, this article is not about Harold Pinter's The Birthday Party, it's still going to show up in your results because it's just searching for those words. The computer is rather stupid that way. It's just so great results using Project Muse. Let's take a look at that together, but just heads up that you may get more articles than you're expecting, and you might have to spend a little bit more time sorting through them to see which ones are useful. Now, I just told you that you can, in this database, limit to peer-reviewed and limit to articles. I don't see that option anywhere. You have to go to Advanced Search. Now we're cooking with gas. Over here on the left, I'm going to limit just down to articles. And, oh, that's right, I'm being silly. I told you you can't limit to peer-reviewed in this database. See, no option for peer-reviewed. But come over here and let's search for the birthday party. Pinter. Okay, 39 articles. Same deal as before. Sometimes you'll be able to tell just from the title, and sometimes you'll have to actually click on it to see whether or not it's going to be useful. This database is going to take you directly to the full text of the article. It's not necessarily going to show you that basic information that we saw before. One nice thing about this database is you'll notice almost everything is full text, unlike the previous databases where you may have to click Get It from UNC-W to find it. JSTOR is very similar to Project Muse. You're going to have to limit it to articles because it includes other types of materials. There's no way to limit to peer-reviewed, but most results are scholarly. And again, it's going to search the full text of articles, so you might get more articles than you're expecting. You might have to sort through them. And like Project Muse, you have to click Advanced Search. And now we see these options, limit to articles. And let's search the birthday party Pinter. Okay, we found 94 results. And some of these reflections on Pinter's The Birthday Party, boom, look very relevant. But as you dig in deeper, for example, scholarship on Eugene O'Neill, what does that have to do with Harold Pinter's The Birthday Party? But clearly it's mentioned somewhere in there. So it's going to be up to you to sort through and see what the most useful things are. You can click on these titles to get access to some more basic information, and then here is the PDF that you can scroll through and download here. So both of these, Project Muse and JSTOR, are going to be almost entirely full text. These first three have the advantage that you can limit to peer reviewed, and you can somewhat limit your search a little bit more because it's not searching the full text of the articles. But Project Muse and JSTOR have a lot more results. So I'm hoping you're getting from this, as I'm talking through it, you're not going to be able to just look in one place. If you look in one place, you may not find what you're looking for. Every single database has different content. Literature Resource Center has different content from MLA, which has different content from Project Muse. Every once in a while, you'll see an article overlap, but not very often. So you have to look in more than one place to find the articles you need. The last one I recommend here is Humanities and Citation Index, which is a fantastic one as well. Like the previous two, Project Muse and JSTOR, you're going to want to limit to articles as you're searching, which I believe you'll do after you search. And like those two, there's no way to limit to peer reviewed, but almost everything that's in here is scholarly. So over here on the left is where you're going to be able to limit your search down to article. And this is a database that again looks very different. If you click on a title, you'll get some basic information like the abstracts and basic information. But if you're looking for full text, you'll want to click under full text options, get it from UNC-W. It's hiding there. Sneaky, 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 it's hiding. You don't want to click on this because that's, you can see from the little button, it's Google Scholar, which is a fantastic tool, but doesn't always connect you with the full text in our database. I think Google Scholar is useful for some types of research because it tends to return millions of results, not all of which are actually scholarly, and the ranking is not based on relevance, it's based on how much the publishers pay Google. I don't necessarily find it to be a very efficient tool, so I recommend you still steer clear of that button or going to Google Scholar. Instead, do full text options, get it from UNC-W, simply because it's going to be a lot faster and more efficient. So if you don't find what you're looking for in all those options I just went through, I do have a link here to more recommended theater databases. Try looking at other places. It's also possible that you need to adjust your search and change what you're searching for. And so down at the bottom, I have a 5-minute video here that's going to be useful to you. It talks about ways to change your search. It might be your search is too broad, so you need to narrow down and be more specific to find more relevant results. It might be that your search is actually too narrow and you're not finding enough things. You need to open up what you're thinking about. So this video, it says 5 minutes, is going to take you through ways that you can open up or narrow, refine your search to get more relevant results. So definitely watch that if you're not finding what you're looking for. And if that's still not useful to you or you're not sure how to implement the suggestions, ding, 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 contact me. Call me, shoot me an email, said hop on chat with me. I'm here to help. So best of luck with your research in this class. Just again, one last time, how you get to this page is under Library, go to Get Help, Subject and Course Guides, down under Theater, Dramatic Heritage, or the link to that page is going to be in the description of this YouTube video. I'm Tammy Ivins. I'm here to help. I wish you the best of luck with this semester, and I hope I get the chance to talk to some of you on the phone, on email, on chat, and hear about how your research is going and offer any assistance I can. Good luck.